Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Last month, Somalia ordered the closure of two Ethiopian consulates, one in Hargeisa, Somaliland, and the other in Garove, Portland. But last night, Ethiopian president appointed an ambassador to Somaliland. Ethiopian ambassador has already been working there, but the appointment is crucial in terms of the powers of the new ambassador. What can he do? Which powers have been given to him? Is he an ordinary ambassador or a full power ambassador? Ambassador plenipotentiary. Details for you. Secondly, viewers, the IMF just a few hours ago gave a press briefing. It gave a briefing about its talks with Ethiopia. What happened? Any agreement with Ethiopia? Uh, are there any obstacles? Has any progress been made? What did the IMF representative say? I have details for you. Firstly, your Somaliland, Ethiopia, Somalia attention. It was the start of April, first week of April, when Somalia expelled Ethiopian ambassador. While in April, we know that Somalia recalled its ambassador. In January, we know that Somalia recalled its ambassador to Ethiopia because in January, in the first week of January, Ethiopia, Somaliland signed the controversial MOU, which Somalia called a violation of its territorial integrity and sovereignty. Immediately after that, Somalia recalled its ambassador. Then, after 3 months, at the start of April, Somalia expelled Ethiopian ambassador, and Somalia gave 72 hours to Ethiopian ambassador to leave. And in that statement from Somalia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Somalia ordered the closure of two Ethiopian consulates, Puntland, Garove, Hargeisa, Somaliland. Both these Somaliland and Puntland are not on good terms with Mogadishu. Somaliland has been operating separately. It wants to be a separate country. Puntland and Mogadishu are also at odds because of constitutional amendments passed by Somalia's parliament a few weeks ago. And after the approval of these amendments, Puntland announced to operate independently. Though it did not announce independence, it's not calling to be a country, but it has refused to recognize Hassan Sheikh as the president, and it uh, is refusing to be part of any talks. It wants the amendments to be rolled back. When Somalia ordered the closure of two Ethiopian consulates, we said it would be difficult for Somalia to implement the order because it lacks authority in Puntland and Somaliland. And same, I think, this is what happened. Last night, Sahle Zewde, Ethiopian president, approved the appointments of some ambassadors and ambassadors plenipotentiary. What is the difference between an ambassador and ambassador plenipotentiary? A plenipotentiary ambassador is a full power ambassador. He can sign agreements. Like if you remember a few days ago, Egypt appointed a plenipotentiary ambassador to Eritrea. Ethiopia has approved the appointment of an ambassador to Somaliland who would work as ambassador plenipotentiary. Though he has been working since last year. His name is Dalil Qadir Bushra. It was, I think, March last year when he met with Musibi Abdi, the president, and he submitted his credentials to the president. of Somaliland. So since last year, he has been working there. Now he is a full power ambassador. Styleworks Zude appointed 10 full power ambassadors, 10 ambassador plenipotentiaries, and 14 normal ambassadors in the decree. Uh, in the decree published last night by Ethiopian President Office. So instead of closing its consulate in Somaliland, Ethiopia has upgraded its ambassador. Now he is ambassador plenipotentiary. Uh, Again, you'll see more uh, escalation, diplomatic escalation between Somalia and Ethiopia because of this move. Somalia has been vowing to stop the implementation of Ethiopia's Somaliland MOU. Progress has been made about the implementation. 3 days ago, we heard from a British MP who said that Somaliland had hired a British law firm for drafting the MOU, for drafting the agreement which will be signed with Ethiopia. So, in the background, Somaliland is making progress. Ethiopia little silent, but the way Ethiopia has upgraded its ambassador to Somaliland, it means that Ethiopia is committed to the MOU, though it is silent. Let's see how Somalia responds to this new move from Ethiopia. Secondly, was Ethiopia has been in talks with the IMF, the National Monetary Fund, for more than a year. It wants a bailout package. It wants around 3.5 billion US dollars from the IMF. Ethiopia has been in talks with the IMF. Talks were held in Addis Ababa at the end of March. Then last month, the two sides met in the US. Amashide Mamu Mereto, National Bank chief, Ahmed, the president, the finance minister, went to the US. There they met with the IMF and World Bank officials. They met with US government officials too. US is the main player when it comes to release of loans, grants for Ethiopia, either by IMF or World Bank. And they met in the US. No announcement was made about any agreement between IMF and Ethiopia. Few hours ago, an IMF spokesperson gave a briefing about international economic situation and talks about agreements with Ethiopia and other countries. IMF announced a staff level agreement with Sri Lanka. It has been agreed. No staff level agreement with Ethiopia so far. IMF representative said that discussions continue during spring meetings, which happened in the US. Before that, the two sides met in Addis Ababa. She said that we have made substantial progress and will continue to work together. We'll continue to talk in virtual meetings too. This is what IMF representative said. This is what the IMF said last month too, when the two sides met in Washington, I think. IMF said that there were some issues unresolved, but substantial progress had been made. Maybe in principle, IMF has decided to support Ethiopia. Ethiopia has also decided in principle to get a bailout package from the IMF. But there are some issues which are unresolved. One of the main issues I said last month is that birr value in official market is not true birr value. IMF is demanding 60% devaluation of birr. Ethiopia is agreeing to devalue birr starting from 10%, taking it to around 30%, and that too gradually. That was a matter of contention between the two sides when they met in Washington. Obviously, these such things are not announced publicly, but birr value is one of the obstacles to the signing of this agreement. Let's see. So far, no announcement from IMF for a bailout package for Ethiopia. Thank you for watching.